here. Let's see what they want us to know. Okay. And Spirit, I call upon you for loving messages. What is it that you need us to know? What is it that you want us to hear at this time? I am listening for you now. I have forbidden. Okay. Secret pleasures. Oh boy. I don't know, is it forbidden, or is it we don't think our family's going to accept somebody, or maybe they're not happy with your choice for some reason. This person maybe treated you wrong and you took them back, and maybe you forgot and moved on, but your family didn't. That happens. I have children. Kids are involved. Okay, so maybe there's somebody that you stick with because you have kids with them for some of you. I have a player. So what happened with this player? Is it somebody who's just having fun and stringing you along? None of us want that, Spirit. And I have together a sacred union. So there's a part of me that feels like you're supposed to be with this person, but this person could have been somebody who didn't want to give up that single life. They didn't want to, I don't know, just fall in line with everybody else. Like, why do I have to, follow these rules? I don't want to follow the rules. Well, guess what? Everybody follows the rules. Future plans. This person's going to lose you. If they don't, they're saying taking steps towards some goals. If this person feels like they can continue on this path of, I'm not ready to give up my single life, but I do love having you in my life. That's not fair, because a lot of those relationships, they don't want you to be with anybody else, but they keep their options open. They don't want to be tied down to any one person, even though maybe they're not seeing anybody else. Maybe they do really care about you, but they haven't committed to, I made a promise that I wouldn't be with anybody else. So if they are with somebody else, then it's a sense of, well, I didn't make that promise. We never agreed to that. Great chemistry, great physical connection. So is this person there when they want to be? I'm going to say that this is a hard one, because there could be a lot of reasons you want to be with this person. But if this person isn't committing to you, they are saying, again, not an option, that you got to know that you're the only one. And if they're not telling you that, I feel like I'm really struggling with this person. I have romance. I'm waiting for the right one. I think this is the right one. So they're saying attached to someone you really can't have. And maybe they're single and you could have them. So technically you could, but it's somebody who doesn't want that attachment. They're just not attached to someone who you can't have. And because there's a sense of, I want my cake and eat it too, unfortunately. So you may be starting to feel that way with this person. I'm going to see if they're going to change. Let's see. Or if they have something else. Sometimes this player runs circles around you, and then, they're kicked out of the circle. Like, I'm not playing this anymore. And then lo and behold, something new comes in. So let's see. You may think this is the one, and I'm going to keep waiting this out. And they're going to get tired of, they're going to get tired of running around. They're going to get tired of, the single life. They're going to want to settle down at some point. If they're not settling down now, they probably are not going to settle down. I have an 8 of Cups. I have a feeling Spirit's asking you to walk away from this forbidden love, because you've got a Lover's card. We've got to walk away from somebody who we think is going to turn into something more, and it's not. I have a 3 of Cups in reverse. I'm going to say they want you to walk away because you think that this is going to go somewhere. You're spinning your wheels and it's wasting time, because when you are in that kind of energy, it prevents you from being with somebody that you should be with. This is kind of a, I'm fighting myself with this feeling of I'm not allowing this soulmate energy to find me. I'm not allowing another person to come forward that may be better, believe it or not. You may be having a hard time because you're so physically attracted to this person, or when you are with them, it's really great. It could be really great, but it's the space in between that hurts. It's the, I don't know who they're with. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know, you know, I certainly don't have a future. We're not talking about a future. So I'm going to say we walk away. I don't know if you want to hear that or not, but walk away from the player to allow this more sacred union to come forward. You're going to do the right thing for your future self and your higher self, spirit saying. So I do have Ace of Wands, and I feel like this person could come in very quickly, and they could have equal magnetism. They could have, it's more stable, it's more grounding, it's a different level of excitement. So instead of being kind of, wow, I love persons off the chart, physically, soulmate energy, that sacred union comes in. Okay, we have some, we have some. Okay, I'm playing with my internet. I apologize if there was a little skipping there. I switched my Wi-Fi to a different Wi-Fi. I'm hoping this is a little more stable. So where were we? We were with this Ace and this Lovers and this grounding energy. And look at it, it's like a little bonsai tree that they're saying it's full grown. I mean, bonsai trees are little, but they're full grown. They're hundreds of years old sometimes. And it feels like it's full grown. It feels like it's being handed to me, like this full grown passion, this blooming tree, putting down roots, you know, like it has a history. It's going to keep surviving. So there's something going on here. The player could have been somebody in your past, and you've already learned that lesson, that player, this, you know, most players don't change their stripes. You're not going to convince, they're saying a soul energy, 6 of Cups at the bottom of my deck. You're not going to change a player's mind into, but I'm different, or if I love them enough, they're going to want to be with me, something like that. I feel like they are, I think the bottom line is they just have somebody else for you. So for whoever that is connecting to, you know, maybe you've already pushed this player away and you have learned your lesson about the person who wants to keep options open. Let's get some initials, first initials, last initials. These could be clues coming, or they could be someone in your life now. I have the letter E, I have an O, I have a K, O, I have a D, I have a Y, I have an E, G, X, J, K, S, an R, I have a Z, I have a V, Z, F, I have an N, I have a U, and I have an H. So some of you, maybe that those are important to you to make a connection with. Spirit, please share with me, what is it that you want me to know about this connection? I want to focus on the new connection. I want to, it was almost like I had to cut strings. I just saw the scissors and the string. I just have to either cut the thoughts about that person or the thoughts about somebody I'm really physically attracted to and hoping that they're going to want more at some point. I don't know. I have a stressed out Gemini energy. I feel overly stimulated. Okay. Is the player not committing to, let's not put labels on it, is really what I feel like they're saying. Not necessarily that I don't want to be with you. Are they using the add-on? I feel like I'm adding on the excuses. I can't commit to that right now. I don't know what I want right now. I've got too many things on my plate. I can't really answer that question right now. So there's all these kind of add-ons, to the reason why. Call them excuses. That's fine. I have moving in. I want somebody who wants to go to the next level. This is a Cancer energy. So I want to start a new life together with somebody. So if that is what you're manifesting and you've got somebody saying, I don't know what I want. Maybe things will change. Let's give it time. We'll see. That's not the kind of energy of somebody who's looking for a relationship. That's somebody who says, well, let's just try this out for a little while. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to move on because there's a lot of people out there. So I want a new birth. Now, some of you, this is coming into me as actually a pregnancy. Some of you are still at an age where you want to meet your person. You want to meet somebody that you can settle down with. You still want to have children. You'd like to have a family in this lifetime. So that is something important to you, but it's also the birth of something new. It's the birth of a new relationship. So I feel like Spirit's closing a door and opening a new one. And sometimes we just have to see it for what it is. I'm not telling anybody to make a decision about their relationships. Like, don't go out and dump your guy today or girl today. Just make sure that you both want the same things, I think. I have a Taurus energy. So completion, commitment, securing a foundation in a long-term relationship and feeling whole. I don't think that player's making you feel whole. I feel like the player they're saying playing games, okay? So the sooner that you kind of get their number, the better off you're going to be, because this is one of those moments. They're saying a fling. You may be thinking it's more, but it's in their mind, it's a fling. And you can't convince them. That is a Scorpio energy, a forbidden fling is how it's coming into me. Because they have something else. Again, you don't want somebody to tie up your energy. If this person is taking your time and your thoughts and consuming you because you're trying to wait for them to decide they want to be in a relationship, it's taking you away from who you're supposed to be with. That's the bottom line. It's blocking your energy to inviting that new soulmate in. So here are some beautiful charms. No forbidden flings. I'll take that. No forbidden flings. Okay. We don't want that. Nobody wants that. All right. Let's see. I have an Aquarius energy. I have a Leo. I have an Aries. What's this guy? I have a birthday cake. Okay, so on or around a birthday. So when is this coming in? So it could be around your person's birthday. Maybe that's a clue. This is a butterfly, but it came into me as a Minnie Mouse. I think it's Minnie Mouse is it Minnie or Mickey that wears the polka dots, the red and white polka dots? There is a sense of Disney. Maybe it's a lover of Disney. I love Disney. That's where I'd go for my honeymoon, or I just got back from Disney with my kids. But it came into me almost like a Minnie Mouse energy. cute. All right, let's see. I have beautiful lips. I love your lips. Could be the first thing they say. I love your smile. I love your lips. Snail. Snail's pace. They're dragging their feet. They're saying, I don't know what I want. We'll see. Give it time. You know, because it's a breadcrumbing energy. It's a, if I can keep you in my energy and we can be physical for as long as this works for me, then what difference does it make? But the difference is it's tying up your energy and it's wasting your time. So you want to be more aware of that. I have cherries. I'm just going to use the word more alike. I need somebody that's more like me. Doesn't have to be exactly like me, but we need to be more on the same page. I do feel that. I have a moon and the stars. I'm going to just say trusting the universe, that I do trust the universe. I'm really trying to understand why these people are being put in front of me for a reason. I have this beautiful pink pink garden rose, and I have a crown. So it's almost like a rose garden feeling, like treat yourself like royalty. It was more of a, if I were a queen and I had my own rose garden, I would be walking through my rose garden that somebody else takes care of. And I'd have my crown on and I'd be kind of, you know, smelling the roses and admiring all my beautiful blooms. And it just felt like I was holding my head up high. You know, it was the queen in all of us, the king in all of us that says, I'm above all of this. My value, my worth, I'm above all of this. So time to kind of open your eyes and smell the flowers. I do feel that. Let's see. Okay, the pink diamond, I have a purse and I have a mirror. So I'm going to say that, you know what, you can be with anybody. That's coming into me as you can be with anybody. And there's a lot of people that are attracted to you. And this person who's tying up your time may think they can be with anybody. Well, good, go for it. But it's not you. And that's what's more important. So just remember, they're not the only person in the sea. So you've got to look at this soulmate energy who's looking for a future more than anything. Now, I saved this camera for last because it was a couple of things. The first thing was maybe somebody's kind of watching, checking you out. Maybe you pushed somebody away recently. The second thing that came into me, it was almost like a glimpse or a snapshot of your future. And it was the wedding pictures. It was the engagement pictures. It was the pictures of you and your family with the birth of a new child. It was the anniversaries. It was the barbecues. It was like a snapshot. Okay. And I think you have to look at it that way. What is this? Give yourself a moment to visualize what it is that you really want. Okay, what it is. What would those snapshots look like? Not everybody wants to be a bride, but if you want to be a bride, what would I look like as a bride? What would that day look like? What would those wedding pictures look like? Right? So take a snapshot in your mind for a minute of what it is that you want, because I have a feeling that whoever this player is isn't going to deliver any of those. You're not going to have pictures of any of those things with that person. So it's, you know, it's the classic, I'm wasting my time, unfortunately. Until the right one comes along, until the soul energy comes along, until this, they said a sacred union comes forward. So we are going to, you know, wave bye-bye to the forbidden fling. And we're going to wait for the right one. Spirit, please share with me loving messages. What is it that you need us to hear? I need more time. It's just filled with excuses. It's open-ended. I'm not putting labels on it. I just want to see where this goes. I'm not committing to anything or anyone. If that's not good enough for you, then maybe we shouldn't be together. You know, it's that kind of garbage. I'm obsessed with your body. There's my devil. I want to have sex with you. There is my fling. You deserve more. You're not an option. I'm too afraid to talk to you. If I tell you that this is how you're making me feel, I feel like then I'll have nothing. So, you know, sometimes we just have to cut our losses with somebody. And I think a player is somebody that you definitely want to say goodbye to. I want to first start with somebody. Maybe this is an ace of cups coming into you. Could be an ace of swords coming into you. It could be, you know, somebody who says, I want a real relationship for myself and for my future. And I do want to start over with somebody else. So I'm going to go with, again, they're showing me those scissors. Oh boy. Cut the strings of something that isn't serving you and isn't going anywhere. And it's only one thing, and you know it in your head, but you are having a hard time admitting it or saying goodbye to it. And don't tie up your energy, because you want to, they're saying they are waiting for you. This feeling of your soulmates out there waiting for you. Spirit's not going to bring your soulmate or other people into your life when they think you're trying to work something out with someone else. They want to see you kind of go through that cycle and, you know, learn your lesson and do what you have to do. So it's not like I'll keep this going because I don't have anything else until something better comes along. That's exactly what that player's doing. So we just don't want that energy attached to us. We are that queen in that rose garden with that crown, and we're looking around going, look at my blooming flowers. You know, I have so much to offer. So that's really where we're headed. But let's put this out to the universe. Let's ask Spirit to guide you towards the soul energy, and you make some good choices for you. I want to thank Spirit for these messages today. I want to thank you for joining me. If you're new to my channel, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you always for your kind words and messages in the comments. If anyone would like to book a private reading with me, please go to my website, KathyMamolen.psychicmedium.com. Check out my other 2 YouTube channels, and I'll put the links in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and we'll see you all again real soon.